But at least one West Indies T20 legend will say goodbye to international cricket when the Caribbean side play Australia in their final match of the ICC T20 World Cup at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi on Saturday. The 38-year-old Dwayne Bravo announced his international retirement during Thursday's 20-run defeat to Sri Lanka. Saturday's encounter is set to be his 91st and final T20 international. Speaking to his two-time World Cup winning captain Darren Sammy and former SportsMax Zone host Alex Jordan on Thursday, Bravo said the time has come to step away.
Yeah, obviously, we can't play forever. Obviously, our former captain already in the box already. So yeah, we have to accept reality. And for me now, I want to try and pass on whatever experience and information I have with the younger players. I think in the white ball format, West Indies cricket have a bright future. And it's important for us to keep supporting the guys and keep encouraging them. Like I said, it wasn't the World Cup we expected. It wasn't the World Cup we wanted as players. But I think, we shouldn't feel sorry for ourselves. It's a tough competition, and we should keep our heads high.
So Bravo said he was proud to have helped to create a legacy for the next generation. He highlighted Shimron Hetmar and Nicholas Pooran, who both batted well in Thursday's defeat to Sri Lanka, as two of the players who have the tools to build on the success of his generation. Now, Dwayne Bravo was part of the West Indies World Cup winning squad twice, and let's hear what he had to say about that.
We had a team chat, a group chat as players, what we need to do better. And don't want to take the credit, but I single out Pooran and Hetmaya. I give them a few bad words as well and let them know how important it is to this team and to West Indies cricket because of the talent that they have. And I don't think they was doing justice to their talent and their ability. They are too good to be so inconsistent over the years, not only in this tournament, but throughout. So some harsh word was passed. And it's good that these guys come out and deliver today, but I hope they can continue to stay hungry. And like I said, they have West Indies cricket right in the palm of their hands, along with guys like Obed McCoy, Shafin Rutherford, and there's so much other players in the Caribbean. I'm excited to work with these guys.
Yeah, Dwayne Bravo was part of the West Indies teams that won the 2012 and 2016 ICC World T20 titles. He was also part of that team that won the ICC Champions Trophy 50-over tournament back in 2004. That was 17 years ago. These are his T20 international statistics. He has played in T20 internationals 90 matches, 1,245 runs, highest score 66 not out, strike rate 115.38. He's had 4 half centuries, taken 44 catches, 78 wickets, best bowling performance 4 for 19, averaging 25.64, and his economy rate 8.10. That's T20 international cricket for Dwayne Bravo, who of course played a lot of ODIs as well and also played some test cricket earlier in his career. We are joined by Fazeer Mohammed as we discuss Bravo's legacy and touch on the future of some of the other veterans in the West Indies T20 setup. Faz, welcome to the SportsMax Zone on this Friday. Bravo had retired from international cricket before and returned. I think this is it for him now. Your thoughts on some of the things that he said just now in that interview?
Well, I think it reflects the maturity of the man, and we've seen him play that father figure role very successfully for the St. Kitts Nevis Patriots in the CPL. He remains a senior man, a vital cog in the wheel for the Chennai Super Kings, the IPL champion. So he's still a CPL champion, he's still an IPL champion, he's a 2-time World T20 champion, as you said. And he has his own song champion, of course, from 2016. And of course, he will be defined in many people's eyes by those phenomenal successes for the West Indies region, for different franchises in the T20 format, because T20 has taken over the game essentially since that first World T20 tournament in 2007. But as you alluded to, Lance, there's a lot more to Dwayne Bravo than just the T20. And I don't say just the T20, just to trivialize it, but he played over 100 one-day internationals. He was captain of the team when they were going through a pretty decent run, and then had that major falling out with the administration at the time when they abandoned the tour of India in October of 2014. And his test career wasn't going too badly, except that Darren Sammy was made test captain, and it was felt that it was untenable, or it was a luxury that the West Indies could not have in their team, which was still struggling, to have two middle-of-the-road all-rounders in their team. So his Test career essentially came to an end when Darren Samuel became Test captain in 2010. So there's a lot more to Dwayne Bravo than just talking about his tremendous exploits as a T20 cricketer.
Yeah, and Faz, when the youngsters, reflect on what he contributed to T20 cricket, what would you say, stands out the most and they can take a page out of his book and learn from?
Professionalism, and it was interesting to hear him say there in that interview about those strong words and using very strong language to a lot of the younger players, because he would have had to deal with a lot of strong language as well. Maybe Ian Bishop didn't use any strong language when he sent him home from West Indies under 19 tournament in 1999 when Bish was the manager of that team. But he was seen to be someone even then with a tremendous amount of talent, but just needed to be put on the right path as far as his own focus on the game. And I think that is what probably irks him, to see players with so much talent, sumptuous talent, and be satisfied with a half-century here and a 40-something there, and the occasional few sixes every once in a while. Because he would have come around, not necessarily with West Indies cricket at its very height, it wasn't. It was already on the way down at Test level, one-day level, and then subsequently at T20 level. But he would have been in the shadow of the greats, the truly greats. I would have seen them dominating before he came onto the scene, and would have grown up in the same environment of a Brian Lara. So he would have seen what would have been expected at the highest level of the game. And that's why you get the sense that even as a father figure, a mentor, he would still be a very hard taskmaster.
Yeah, and now that, this aspect of his career is done, how crucial would it be that, those in charge of West Indies cricket keep Dwayne Bravo very close to the team, maybe in the administration or part of the coaching staff, because he still has a lot to teach these youngsters?
Well, it really depends on the personalities as well, because one of the issues that we've had, in fact, many people often ask the question, why after that great era of West Indies dominance, 15 years unbeaten, we didn't see a lot of those outstanding players, especially the then captain, Clive Lloyd, transitioning automatically into long-term roles in West Indies cricket? Well, it had a lot to do with the fact that the administration at the time couldn't saddle with a lot of those strong-willed individuals who felt they were independent enough that they could express their own opinion and didn't feel they had to kowtow to whatever the administration wanted. Not saying automatically that being an outstanding player or a great player automatically makes you an excellent administrator or a fantastic coach. We've seen enough from global sport to teach us that that is not an automatic, that is not a given. But I think we've seen enough from Bravo already to recognize that almost as a player coach, he's proven to be very, very effective and is respected from Mumbai to Bastia to anywhere else you could think of in the cricketing world, not just for his skills, but for his knowledge of the game.
Faz, testing your memory now. My favorite Dwayne Bravo international performance, that June 2009 performance against India, 4 for 38 with the ball, 66 not out, helping us to win. There's that famous picture, well, famous in my mind, of him and Shivnarine Chandapal celebrating him striking the winning runs. I don't think it got better for him on the international stage in the maroon and gold than on that night, that performance with bat and ball against India. Do you have a rival for his best performance in West Indies colours?
Well, my golden moment will actually be a series, a test series between the West Indies and South Africa in South Africa. And for me, it's actually my golden moment thinking about Chris Gayle, because Chris Gayle took on the role of West Indies captain with a cracked thumb and showed the sort of commitment and dedication that lifted his team. I saw Dwayne Bravo put down a spell of bowling on a hot, steamy afternoon in Cape Town with the West Indies 1-1 with South Africa. We've never experienced that before or since, to be 1-1 with South Africa in a test series in South Africa. And he bowled an absolutely magnificent spell. Beautiful bowling, line and length, seam up, change of pace. He got Jacques Kallis, he got a couple other wickets. And to me, that represented the class of the individual, that he may not have had the numbers that were ranking among the great test all-rounders, but he was probably working towards it. And I think I understand people automatically looking at those headline moments, the glory of the sixes and the winning tournaments and so on, and his tremendous ebullience and his verve and vitality. But when I look to someone, because we often overlook the fact that a lot of these guys, Kyron Pollard, for example, Chris Gayle, certainly Andrew Russell at one time, and definitely Dwayne Bravo, they measured themselves on what they were able to achieve in Test cricket. And that afternoon spell of bowling might have been on the second day in Cape Town, 2000, 2007, 2008, when he was the captain of the team in the absence of the injured Chris Gayle. Well, he sticks out in my mind.
You gave me a lot there. I was just restricting it though to T20 cricket. and the reason I pinpointed that with Fazeer, and of course I welcome what you said, is that for many people, perhaps unfair, but this is what happens to players with great ability. Many people have not gone past measuring his contribution for West Indies with that performance as the reference point. That 4 for 38, that 66 not out to take us to victory, and the fact that he wasn't able to replicate that was for many people a letdown and perhaps a mark against DJ Bravo's prowess in T20 for the regional team.
And I take that point because at that time, he would have just gotten an IPL contract. Remember, when he got his first IPL contract in 2008, he wasn't the automatic first choice. He was a replacement for Sri Lanka's Lasith Malinga for the Mumbai Indians. That's where he started his IPL career. And it's quite possible that the environment there, the professionalism, the money, you can't overlook that would have probably something that garnered his attention and his greater focus. When he came back to join the West Indies team for a series against Australia with the first test at Sabina Park, he was flown in on private jet and looked everything the Bollywood superstar when he walked off that private jet. Dwayne Bravo is a showman. Dwayne Bravo, he's a showman. And he lives for that sort of occasion. So that might have worked against his own numbers and his own performance and in every respect. But I think it's almost the same discussion that you now have in football, where people want to argue, well, Messi or Ronaldo probably greater than Pelé, when those who are of my vintage will say, no way, that you've got to excel for your country first before we could talk about franchise or clubs, as in the case of football. So there will always be that dynamic, and probably even more so in the cricketing environment now.
Last one in the limited time we have, Fazeer, and this links to a statement you made earlier. This system, this much maligned West Indies system at times of producing youth players and nurturing them, it gave us DJ Bravo, a player with landmark performances in Test cricket, as you've noted, has a lot of ODI cricket under his belt, T20 international glory, and of course, on the franchise level, is one of the greatest of all time. So the question then, Fazeer, in the short time we have, what is it that prevents us from getting a DJ Bravo cycle after cycle, generation after generation? Because we can do it. He's the evidence that we can do it. Why are we not doing it often enough?
Because we have a problem, George, managing talent. One of the challenges we face, and to cut a long story short, is that everybody is concerned about somebody stepping on their toes, somebody coming to take the glory from them, someone outshining them in whatever role they may be as an administrator or whatever. And we have yet to understand it's all about to manage supreme talent, not to just give them their will, let them do whatever they want, because we've seen the devastating consequences of that, but it's to be able to be mature about it. And we have yet to mature as a people in many different ways to be able to understand when talent is given its head and is in a controlled environment, you bring out the best in that individual for yourself and for the sport. Yeah. And Bravo is one of those examples. There are many others along the way, many others that are a classic example of our failure to really manage that sort of talent.
Yeah, well, take us to the break, Faz, with your views on which other senior players should depart, as Bravo has done.
Well, I think Chris Gayle should do the honourable thing. Yeah. I mean, why would you want to be dropped?
Yeah.
What other reason? What if Gayle scores 200 not out tomorrow? Are you going to retain him for the next tournament? Come on, you go out with some dignity. Don't let yourself be dropped. say, well, okay, it's time for me to go. Andre Russell as well. Karen Pollard, he said that he's not going anywhere, and we'll have to wait and see how that goes. He might have a few years left in the tank, but certainly the name Chris Gill comes automatically to mind. Go out with some dignity.
Okay, Faz, great talking to you. We'll talk again next week, I'm sure. Yeah, Fazeer Mohammed there, and Dwayne Bravo's departure from international cricket after a 17-year career. George and Mariah, a huge contribution by DJ Bravo, and at the end there, views from Faz about who else should join him on the retirement list.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, we all know the contribution that Dwayne Bravo made, and statistically we've listed it, but I feel like the electric energy that he brought. I remember when it was announced that he was leaving TKR to move across to the Patriots, I felt it, and mainly because of the energy. It had nothing to do with him bowling, and just having him around the dressing room, I felt as if that was a big miss, and we will definitely miss him from international cricket.
Yeah, and Faz thinks that Chris Gayle should do the honourable thing, George, and step away as well. Okay, that ends our cricket segment. We go to break. Still a lot more to come on the SportsMax Zone, including a heavy dad of football after the break.